we go.
There we go. It's happening.
In it comes. Twitch support making its debut ever. It picks up his trusty Nautilus. And yeah, the reason why we were worried about the Kalista, however, is because I do truly believe that Kalista, while strong, it requires an inordinate amount of hands. And
what are you trying to say?
well, I don't think Beryl, at least in his current form, has the hands. And I'd argue that that's not the appeal of Beryl, and we shouldn't put him on champions like Kalista. But Twitch,
true.
Very, very different. Do you think that this is the type of bot lane where Effort and Hannah can find all in? And Doctum and Beryl have actually been struggling substantially, so they can't afford to misplay. But I gotta say, DRX comp overall, I love it. I think you have a ton of pressure points. The one upside is that even with the Zeri being somewhat lackluster, Nautilus and Elise together is a deadly combo. It's just that a lot of the other parts, the Zeri, the Castin, don't really have got that much going on. The snowball of the DRX comp is very, very scary.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. I mean, you know, you look at the... Wow.
Oh!
Somebody knew. Somebody knew it was coming.
He's like, oh, it's happening.
Yeah. And he did the thing where he puts the first syllable of every letter of every player on the team in a row. That was made very popular through the Donut Churros era of Genji. This is just cheering on Brion. But yeah, I mean, you look at the cast in this area, you're like, well, that's Supreme late game, right? But on the other side, I mean, there are a lot of pieces of the DRX puzzle that can also throw down in a late game. And Beryl is going to be going onto this AP Twitch, and that is going to be a rough lane to deal with. Although I do feel like now Elise kind of has a reason, you know, like kind of has an angle in this game. Maybe just sit in the bot lane and help out your bottom lane. Could happen as here we go, guys. We're jumping out of the rift for game 3. Fans are getting hyped, man. They are really hyped up for this match.
And overall, really excited to see what is going to... Ooh, already walking in. What we're actually going to get here. Do note that Beryl has gone for the sickle here. So, wondering whether he will actually opt into AD Twitch here, which would be very out of the left field. I think the AP variety has gained some notoriety for the absurd amount of snowballing potential that it does have, but might also just be a call to be able to apply a little bit more early pressure. We'll see when we actually get into the game. But yeah, the overall composition of DRX should just make sure that they keep track of Umti. And as long as, yeah, there, okay, there we go. Yeah. Starting early.
Beryl is, he is stealth. He is going to have to flash to get away from that one.
Yep, that's peak Beryl. So I hope you enjoy 1v2 laning, Doctum, because...
Top lane gank?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Morgan's like, wait, I just wanted to play a normal game of League of Legends. What is going on here?
Your lane. It's not happening.
Yeah, definitely at least don't take that angle.
So as I was saying, the snowballing potential of Twitch support is so obnoxious to play into, right? Like truly, once you get a couple of stacks onto your passive and you're able to go in for the E and completely eradicate people, you're going to feel very good. As obviously, it's a Cassidon by himself into an AP lane, so Beryl says, no, you are not alone. As Umti, again.
Who needs Flash anyway? I don't use Flash in my games because I'm a Giga Chad. Here we go, Umti's in the top lane. And he's just going to repel on top of Rascal, which gives him a very nice angle to just flash away. Not sure about that one, but...
Yeah, that's a tough flash to hit there. Yeah. Nicely done. And overall, say what you want about this Twitch support and Beryl having his flash blown literally level 1, but hey, the map is
He's level 2
quickly
now.
devolving into pure chaos. Yeah. As my assumption is that was indeed the goal. As Beryl goes back, picks up a refillable pot, makes his way back towards the bot side of the map. As Umpty's here again.
Here we go again.
Oh, look at Fade though.
Yeah, and you can see Umpty's just backing away, and the wave was pushed into Morgan, so there's not much that they can do about that. And yeah, I actually really love this pick because it feels like it's the perfect pick for Beryl. Like, he wants to shape the game around him doing crazy, aggressive, weird angles.
Just never lane.
TikTok highlights, This is the player he is.
Everyone on Brion just has to stay underneath their turret. Because they don't know.
He could be anywhere. And now he's in the top lane.
So obnoxious. Look at Beryl's cam as well. He's just having a laugh.
Of course. Okay, well, we don't know, as now Krako's here.
Oh my god, they're gonna dive Morgan.
And
Effort's like, I gotta follow him!
I mean, I don't
think you can.
Maybe he just feels like there's no reason for him to be bot, though. He's like, oh, Zeri's gonna be fine, like, just leave her. I might as well do something even if I can't do anything.
Well, but that's... I
don't know if you can even dive Duck Dom, really.
I feel like you're still doing more, though. But it's really tough, right? This is a very chaotic game state, as we'll see Kroko here.
And they should know that Beryl's here.
Yeah, of course.
But effort is seen. So now this is a 3v3 in the top lane. In 2023, I never thought I'd see this.
Fellas, this is how you make top lane matter again. You just rotate a bot laner over there.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Just play Twitch support. And, I even struggle to call it Twitch support. I feel like this is the return of roaming, the roam role. You remember River Shen? It's back, Chronicler.
So, but Beryl isn't really...
in the form of Twitch.
Like, they're not getting that much done yet. As they were actually really sniffing out, trying to see if Umpty and Effort went for another play. But overall, if you don't pick up early objectives and you're not actually able to turn this pressure that you're generating into anything meaningful, then this isn't really going to matter, right? And we can very, with safety, say that you're definitely going to feel a lot better as... Oh, here he goes again.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit his little flask, but...
The issue is, especially against Morgan, Morgan's like, yeah, cool story, bro. I have a refillable and 2 biscuits.
But to be fair, if Rascal can get through this lane for free, you're chilling, right? Because your J-Shoes outskill the Cassante pretty substantially.
Here we go.
Yep.
And Hennis is doing this alone. There is no vision for the side of Duck Dom, so of course it's not like he would ever try to fight this, even if he felt confident in the 1v1.
This is the one downside. I do think that the Varus, when left alone, is actually a very juicy target if you do send Umpty towards the bot side of the map, right? So looks like this will be the AP variant nonetheless, which does make a lot of sense as Duck Dom.
They might just run into each other here. Where is Beryl? He's probably in the lane, I guess, as, yeah, trying to set this up. Jonas Strong keeping it a secret for now, as now Effort's like, oh god, everybody's here. He's going to have to flash over the wall. You see Duck Dom was leaning forward, but they're not going to have an arrow available. And Effort will survive.
Do note also, Kroko does have his flash there, could have gone for it, but didn't want to take the risk. And I personally would also like them to go for a contest on this. Ooh, Umpty, say hello. Should still be able to get the ward there, but...
Umpty's running away from the level 3 Twitch. Doesn't know where Kroko is. Just looks very entertaining. For Beryl, of course.
Just for Beryl, yeah. Another thing that is important to highlight here is that whereas Beryl is actually... Is he going Mashers too? I don't even...
Hell yeah.
I just want to see what happens. Whereas Beryl is actually getting a lot of value out of his support item, right? So he's farming it up pretty consistently. Effort is not. Because Effort's support item is reliant on actually being in lane and getting last hits and getting executes. And he's not getting any of that. So I do think that if this continues and you have a Twitch that is barely in the game, and you have a Nautilus that is barely in the game, Effort can't even go in for some of the engages, right? Like, he will literally be made of paper. So, do you think Brion can run into some issues in that regard, as it looks like a 5-man contest towards his Herald is coming through? But guess what? DRX also rotating over 5 people. Pure madness here on Summoner's Rift, Valdez.
Yeah, this is a game unlike I have cast before. We do have Henna going bot again, so it doesn't look like Bro really wants to contest this. Although Henna is around. Or not Henna, Effort is around. He's nearby as, what is he? Okay, he's Hex flashing the wall. I'm like, what are you doing in there? Really needs to get some of those minions down. Really needs to get more than level 3. As nobody is confident to go in on any of these lanes with a Twitch in the game. There is nobody in the bottom lane.
See, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just get 3 plates in Zeri here. At the very least 1. Might be able to get 2, but I can understand Henna not wanting to take the risk again. As that was literally just to spam the emote. And ooh, Henna might be in some trouble here. Or actually, Effort's level 3.
Yeah, Effort is level 3. There was a big rotation down from mid and jungle of Bro.
It's so hard into Rise. That's a problem, right? If Rise is halfway there, then you're going to be fighting at least on even footing. Drake would be really big here, and even though there's been a ton of shenanigans, Zeri and Kassadin are just able to play the game. Right? We're not really seeing the... Yeah, well, I mean, that's
free Infernal Drake.
Is this really going to be Twitch support? Like, it gets picked and then it doesn't get anything done, and then it's just the end of the game, the end of it.
And we never get to see it ever again.
Yeah.
That would be sad, actually.
Or, more likely, it gets picked up by Baccaria, who then makes it look super busted.
Yeah, I mean, Carrier is playing later tonight. If you guys were, if you're a fan of this kind of thing, you should probably stay tuned because you should watch this game. This is going to be a very fun game, regardless of what happens. And then the next series will have Carrier in it. That's all I gotta say. Should be fun. Should definitely be fun. And yeah, we kind of just traded objectives. Krako's gonna look to drop this mid, it looks like. And everybody's here. All 5 members of DRX are in the mid lane. Just a straight up A-round. As in goes Effort. He's gonna get the engage. He is in fact made of paper as Fate is burning down. That Ignite is getting him pretty low. As Kassadin picks up the first kill and Zeri gets the second. Could not be going worse for DRX, who opted into this fight. This is gonna be an ace and a certified Zeri moment as she picks up the 3-0 and Bro just roll over them.
I don't even know, Valdez.
Please analyze. Please analyze that play, Chronicler, because I have no clue.
I don't even know. What happens is, I think they felt like they might have a good angle, then Fate steps forward just a little bit, so it's Fate that gets hooked, not Croco. Meaning that from this point onward, they just have to disengage, right? But that doesn't work.
They're just running.
They're just running.
The whole time.
Again, because Fate's already low, I think at that point you just have to flip it and hope you win. Because you're never getting away from Zeri and Cassante. It's just not going to be a thing.
Or
now,
Kassadin.
Your 2K go behind a Kassadin and Zeri, both of which picked up 1 and 3 kills respectively. So now I think you just lose. You might not, I mean, but I think
you might be right. You might be right. Barrel does not have flash. I think he's just dead. Yeah, he's going to be slowed down. Henna picks up another free kill. And this is the issue. You can't run away from them. This is why Zeri moments are a thing. Part of the reason, a small part of the reason, is because her mobility is so high. So if she starts winning a fight, it's like a snowball and a champion. You just can't get away from her. Everybody's running away. She's chasing you down, getting free kills. And then she scales really well. So, unfortunately, DRX, you know, I was hoping for a more even game. Perhaps we were going to have the Twitch support popping off. And then... yeah, you don't win this anymore. This isn't the first 8 minutes of the game, unfortunately, for Barrel.
Yeah, I got nothing, Valdez. So you can hope that, you know, Henna mispositions, and hopefully that'll be enough. But he's taking a turret shot as well, and it's Kassadin. He has a flash on a 6-second cooldown.
Yeah. And Zeri was there to make things worse. I don't even think Paris really even needed him.
No, even without the Zeri, plays just
died at Kassadin. Well,
what I do appreciate is that this is a very, very spirited rendition of what actually happens in solo queue when you lock in Twitch support, which is cool.
They're staying true to the original.
Yeah.
You know? I think that has value.
When Twitch is on your team.
Yes, only when Twitch is on your team.
Yeah.
If Twitch is on the enemy team, usually they're in the jungle instead, but even if they're not,
no, he gets a double.
They get a kill at level 1
yeah,
onto the mid laner, and then
the game's over.
The game is over. Same with Shaco.
That's just, them's the rules.
All these invisible champs are all the same. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big issue. The snowball is well and truly turned into an avalanche already. It's still very early on in this game, but I mean, 4-0 and 2, Zeri with an Infernal Drake, and a Kassadin who got a level, or rather a minute 11 or 10 Rod of Ages.
This is
a big issue for DRX.
You guys can't see it, but I'm like, hands in my head. We get
hands in your head.
No.
Oh my God.
That's how messed up I am, Valdez.
Yeah, I mean,
and now they're just setting traps left and right, and Brianna like, we're not gonna fall for this.
Yeah,
we don't need to do anything.
To be honest, I don't even blame Beryl anymore because he's probably tilted off the face of the planet. Like the way that last fight went, how could you not be like getting aced at 10 minutes into the game? It's a really rough spot. Yeah, clean ace. Nobody's died inside of Bro yet. And Rift Herald has spawned, so maybe DRX are gonna get this one.
That's nice.
It's nice.
It's something. They can get Herald, maybe gonna get first Turtle Blood, and then they're only gonna be 2.5k gold behind the Zeri Kassadin composition, right?
Yes. Remember when we were talking about like all the lanes and like what Elise was gonna do, and you know the Twitch support? Good times.
And then it turned out none of that mattered.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but it's not truly over. I think, maybe. No, it should be. But it's not really until it actually is, you know?
Yeah.
Because maybe Bro make a mistake. Maybe they make 5 mistakes in a row.
Could happen. We've seen it before.
And then DRX come back with their Twitch support.
I mean, they do have a rise. They do have potential.
Well, their poke is good, and
with
outside of Morgan, they're like, all squishy.
I'm really trying to like see the lines.
No,
here.
we're really stretching it, Valdez. We're really
I just don't want to accept.
I don't want to accept.
I'm not ready to accept
that this game is.
I'm still in denial, Chronicler.
And Twitch support is a disaster.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, Henna. Well. Beryl got a bunch of damage. That was some nice poke in there. Well, and indeed, they do have some great poke.
They get the first turbo up, maybe.
Yeah?
No, not even.
Oh, efforts here, and Henna, you know, he's only got a shield bow, but...
Maybe they get Drake, right?
I think maybe they do. I mean, look at where Umpty is right now.
Kassadin's in the solo lane, getting first turbo over here. Oh, man.
But DRX, they had a really nice setup. We can see the potential in their poke, right? Think about if Jace and Varus are there to follow up with the Twitch. Maybe you can blow up some of those squishies.
Yeah, true.
They stopped the Ocean Soul snowball at least, so that's one of the snowballs that has stopped.
I know you're joking, but it's still helping me. You're talking. Yeah, okay, Valdez. You are telling me that you're saying the words.
I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying...
Ocean Soul Snowball, non-ironic. That was 100% genuine. Look into my eyes and tell me.
I won't. I can't.
Oh, it's so rough.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rascal's ahead on gold. So...
Fellas, I just want to feel heard. You don't have to solve my problems, okay? No, we're joking because truth is, in this scenario... What do you do? Unless Brion make big mistakes, like if Hannah walks into a trap and
into like
Beryl gets a shutdown and becomes a super fat AP Twitch, then maybe. But that they're gonna try and dive Cassante, right? Like that's where we're at right now because they can't contest.
That play is not it. I think that
you got to try something. Right?
Maybe you can try to do that to try to break down the turret. Like that could be an angle. As we do have the ult here onto Fate. He does have flash at this moment in time, but Beryl just died. Yeah, you're not very tanky as AP Twitch. Surprising nobody. As in goes Henna once again. The chains are going to land, and Henna does not have cleanse. But Umpty's really, really, really fast. So that will force the flash there out of Duck Dom, but that's still a free mid turret at this point in the game, and Karus is getting a free turret bot. They still have a second Rift Herald that's going to be thrown into mid.
All right, I give up. There's no more angles. It's done. I'm calling it.
It's just a straight line. There's no angle.
No, there's. It's just a line.
Yeah. I think you might be right, Monoglare.
What a roller coaster of emotions to go from the first Twitch support debut in the LCK to where we are right now.
Like I said before, you know, I think Keria might try it in the next series, or this, or maybe something just as crazy. Just make sure you're tuning in later as well. Should be a lot of fun.
Keria's going to bring out Ziggs support, and Veldus is going to lose his mind.
Yeah, that would... I don't know if that's a thing. I was thinking about that actually, but I don't think it is. Or Azir support.
Oh,
any Busio fans?
Yeah, that's happened.
Any Busio fans in the chat?
Well, at least DRX don't get perfect game, which is nice. This is a turret deep as well. Look at Beryl, and he's here, and he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, especially a player like Karus, I feel like who really does exponentially get better with like a confidence boost. Like if he gets in a position where he thinks he can carry, he will, generally. It's just he really struggles to get there. But he has certainly gotten there in this game. Super early Rod. Looks like that will complete in about 30 seconds. I think he got it around 11 minutes. It's going to be a really nice time for him.
Look at this gold difference. We went from...
Oh! Got him! There it is! The pick onto the Kassadin! I'm sorry. I'm just making Crocodile feel really bad. It's okay.
It's a toughie, Veldus. I would love to say stuff about this game, but this truly is such a doomed scenario because it feels like there is no scaling argument to it. It's Kassadin and Zeri, and they have all the kills. And they're like 2 levels up in case of Karus.
Yeah, his Rod just completed, so.
Yeah, true. That's nice, I guess. Fate will get his in like 2.5 minutes.
Oh, they're just gonna go for Baron.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, yeah, especially with Zeri here and how fed she is, you can just kind of do this. But a couple of wards were placed, so they are going to respect that. Again, that's one of the mistakes. You know, if you're only going to take it with 2 and then you just kind of get jumped on, like that could potentially be an angle for DRX.
Gonna have to get very creative here, Veldus.
I mean, I'm just glad we had a game 3 so we got to see the AP Twitch. You can see the potential of it.
Did we?
I think we did. Like, let's say they didn't just run down mid and take that pretty, you know, honestly atrocious team fight. Like, if that didn't happen, where would we be in this game?
I do like entertaining the concept of alternate realities when the game is as bleak as this one. So maybe we're in a universe where, at the very least, yeah, DRX play a nice early game and they get their Twitch fed and throw comp, move around the map, and do whatever they want. That could have happened.
I think that Barrel's impact on the lane was pretty nice.
And it was okay, but I think Bro actually played... Well, they played very respectful, and then they took one fight, got clean aced, and then the game was over. Oh, Resco's dead.
Yeah.
Unless?
He's like trying to go in on this. He's got damage, but... Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of helplessness from him too. You know, maybe just a bit of tilt, because at this point he knows too. He's like, well, what else am I gonna do? Like, even if I live, it doesn't matter. So here we go over the wall. Nice play from Effort, as Barrow will be caught out. Pretty quick on that one. They are able to match the Cassante in the side lane with a Rise. When are we gonna get top Rise into Cassante back? Is that ever gonna be a thing?
Okay, it all starts with Doctum and Croco getting a steal here, right? Oh, no. Oh, Doctum's dead.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's just... nice play here from Effort once again. Again, looking very confident from very far ahead. There's a little zap over the wall. We do not know. Okay, well, now we do. Where the Sejuani is, Croco does not have any vision, so of course he comes in a little bit early, not knowing exactly where the health of the Baron is at. Looks a little bit silly, but not to be helped, as that will be the Baron here. 24 minutes to the side of Bro.
Free Adam's going to be done now, as... Oh, no, not the replay of this.
Can we just get like 2 more replays of the mid-fight?
You know,
and just like no more replays?
Between the Sandbox D+ game and now this one...
I mean, I think the Sandbox one was...
It was worse, but I do think that this is a little bit comparable. It wasn't as much of a laning diff, but like a clean ace into Kassadin and Zeri.
It's similar in terms of its helplessness, for sure.
Yeah.
In the Live Sandbox one, it was just kind of feeling really helpless for Envy, who just got really bullied. But in this one, it's kind of just...
Everyone getting bullied.
Yeah.
It's nice. At least they're together.
And it also showcases some more of the issues on the side of DRX. You know, like what is the shot call to go in there? Like, why are they making this decision in the first place? And that's a kind of narrative point that we will continue to make, as DRX will not find any luck in this one. To be continued, I suppose, for them, because Bro are just rolling over them, as is to be expected. Level 17 is Karis, 25 minutes into the game, and Bro, it doesn't look like they're gonna let them hurt any longer. Might just put them out of their misery with this Baron buff.
As Barrel forced to flash as well, and for Breon, as we said coming in today, this is an important win. The schedule is going to be a lot tougher from here on out, and any believer going to be very happy with this game, even though from a pure gameplay perspective, obviously not the most entertaining. What matters is that they are going to get the win, right? They are able to actually, again, capitalize on Hannah, on Izeri, and even though it was a game call, I do think that we can very clearly see that Breon is super comfortable playing around Hannah, very cognizant of how strong they are at any given point in time, and then it's just a question of playing out the game. And as much flack as we've given Breon for being methodical in the past, or rather slow, they are, in my opinion, of all the weaker teams that we have, the best one at keeping a lead. Like, once you give them a lead like this, they're just never going to give it up. Everyone's going to stick together. No one's going to make risky plays inside.
Are they never going to let you down as well?
No, they're also never going to run away.
Well, they've definitely hurt me in the past, so I don't know. Like, it doesn't quite check out, but they got the rest of the check boxes.
Not in this one, Valdez.
Not in this one. As Breon are pretty... I think you're exactly right, though. It's part of the reason why they play so slowly, because they're trying not to take any risks. They're trying to be as safe as possible.
You win 100%.
Well, not in this game. I just mean in general.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's part of their play style.
Part of the appeal as well, I think, for this team.
Absolutely.
They're just very lovable.
Could win in 15 minutes, wins in 30. Giga Chad. Takes their time. Very patient. And, yeah, I mean, they don't really have much of a minion wave here, and they don't have Baron anymore, so...
yeah, there's 2 super waves, so they can just wait and stick around here.
Effort almost hooked the turret again. Very close, although maybe that would have been okay, because he might have just forced the team fight, and this time he has flash, so... Might not have been that bad. As the poke not even really touching Umpty at this point. You can see just how far behind the Varus is, or the DRX comp in general is. Karis level 18 now. In this game, slow and steady is Breon, as they will get the push into the back line, as they are going straight into barrel. A massive walk comes in from the side of Karis, and that should do it. Henna is gonna die. Chad? And at the end of the day, we do have Duckdom trying to hold on by himself here against Umpty, but there are just way too many minions, way too much pressure onto this Nexus, and it looks like that'll do it. Fate with his head in his hands, not the best feel if you are a DRX fan, of course, as this was an Omega stomp in game number 3, as Brion will take down the series 2-1.
And Umpty immediately high-fives the Lords. They are all going to be very happy. Going to 3-2 now as DRX unfortunately continue their free fall. The Bro Leavers out in full force. They're eating well tonight. And for Brion, continue their love of free game series, continue their love of sticking together, and how iconic that they win with a single team fight. 15 minutes, 20 minutes earlier than we're used to seeing from them, right? But
I think it happened
truly,
in 11 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
well, yeah, and usually it's like 35. So,
yeah.
But truly, I think well done, Umpty. Also seemingly relieved, knowing that this is a match that down the line can make a really big difference.
Absolutely. I think that Bro are, you know, even though that game was such a, I don't know, like, it just felt like a scrim that you would just call it at 50 minutes. You're like, okay, you guys won, let's go next. Like, it was just so one-sided. But it's very important, as you said, you know, like, Brion need to get every single win that they possibly can to have a chance at making playoffs. They're not in the top 3, they're not really in the top 4, but they're trying their hardest to get as many wins as possible and prove that at least they can make playoffs again. That would be, in my mind, what their biggest goal is for the season, especially with, you know, the changes in the roster and all that. And a win's a win. 2-1. Cars just very happy. No celebration, just smile and wave.
And overall, really well done here by Brion. Hannah having an absolutely wonderful day today here. Even in the game that they lost the second one, he still did just as much damage as his lane opponent.
Yeah.
On Jhin, which pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
And
maybe a few too many free barrels in those statistics, but
we're not gonna
still counts.
We're not gonna talk about those. As yeah, effort also. I'm sure he's really happy that after all these, you know, last couple of months of Enchanters, he gets to just lock in Nautilus again to his
It's like, I don't want to play Callista, I just want to play Nautilus. I think Kerry actually said the same thing.
He did. He's like, I just want to lock in Nautilus.
Yeah, I'm just playing any carry supports because they're good.
Because it's the best, but I'm not doing this out of choice. This is thrust upon me. A responsibility, just like the general led his troops to victory today. And overall, really nice showing for Brion. And even if you're a DRX fan, you can't ever feel too bad about a Brion win.
That's just the way it goes here at the LCK. That's the way it goes for Brion. They do get the win 2-1, and we will be hearing from some of their members. And yes, this is the highlight that I wanted to see. Again, the hook onto Fate gets him out of position. And again, the second DRX get behind in the team fight, you're just never getting away from Cassante, Zeri, and Kassadin. And that was why this team fight turned out to be such a big issue.
And then from this point onward, like, we're going to see more highlights, but this was the highlight, which I'm sure the desk will also echo in moments like this. Very unfortunate. Turns out that the Twitch support really was just a snack for Karis to munch on throughout the rest of this game, and with the composition already so far behind, DRX couldn't really do anything, and Brion just play it out cleanly, go for objective, stick together, make sure you don't take any unnecessary risk, and close out the game in relatively sweet and succinct fashion.
Karis, like, didn't even rift walk until he saw the Twitch. He just immediately flashed on him. He's like, I was waiting for you. I'll have my meal again.
I knew you were on your way.
Yeah. And he was right. And yes, he did once again have the Twitch.
드랩할게 앞라인. 왜 이렇게 안 맞냐? 라인 넣자, 라인 넣자. 라인으로 붙을게. 이거 천천히 볼게, 이거 그냥 볼게, 이거. 볼게.
They're just calling, you know, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go in for this.
That rift walk from Karis.
계속 볼게, 계속 볼게. 나 혹시 맞춰놨어, 뒤에.
That's not fun.
좋았다. 되나?
Unless you're a Cassidy fan.
It's what we call boom boom damage.
너 한 빼봐.
It's like the essence of it right there.
한번 빼볼게, 고치 맞추고. 더 치자, 그냥.
When the enemy just disappears in under a second.
이게 죽네?
Gotta feel good. This win going to keep Brion in a pretty good place overall in terms of maybe again, like last spring, being able to make it up the ladder and clinch a 6th playoff spot. As yeah, unsurprisingly, a lot of damage from Morris and Hannah here.
I'm looking forward to hearing what the space has to say about this game because, you know, we're the casters. We can talk. We can make jokes. Those guys, they gotta break it down. They gotta analyze it. They gotta really dig into the down and dirty details of that one. So, really curious to hear what they have to say. And in fact, they're waiting just now on standby. Let's go over to the space right now.
Well, that game was over at 10 minutes. Wolf, what did you, do you have any plans for the weekend?
Cast some more LCK.
Oh, yeah.
And then challengers after that. But when Twitch was invisible, it really reminded me of how DRX was in that 3rd game. We just weren't there. It was not really a game.
Yeah.
The Twitch pick here, looking at the draft, like, you and I were talking like, okay, it could be Twitch. What's going to happen? Are we going to have engaged supports? Because the draft was really pushing down into like the depths of what's going to happen support-wise. Because we did see the Rise, Kasten trade-off in first rotation. And Beryl decides for his 3rd time now that he's going to play a creative pick, as we like to call it here at the LCK. It's usually one of those special caster words. And he won twice with the Caitlyn. He doubled Karia's Caitlyn wins. And then the Twitch here, he played it in the early game to affect all 3 lanes. You had the Rise prio early. You did ruin the Cassante's lane early, but after that, they made one wrong call. Effort gets a hook, the game is over. It's just that simple.
Yeah, it really is. They walked out, and they had the right idea, you know? You utilize all of that extra pressure that you've built up. You grab the Rift Herald, you try and put it into the mid lane outer turret to break open the map as far as possible, so it's a bit of a playground for if the Twitch is in a position where his team's ahead, then you can be very oppressive because no one can walk up into Fog of War because there might just be, you know, a Twitch that slows you down. You get hit by a million shock blasts and room prisoned and you're dead. If that doesn't happen though, you get what you just saw. As let's have a look at where the game started and where it ended. All in one play.
Yeah, look at effort here on the side. This is really unfortunate. This is a 5-man group because they really want to both grab plate gold here, but also take this whole turret out. This is the idea with this push, but fortunately effort essentially sacrifices himself. He barely gets away, but they force bait back here. Look at where Morgan is. He's just running down. And as Valdez pointed out several times on the broadcast, this comp is just so mobile, so good at chasing, that if anybody oversteps and you get a pick like this, like Effort did, it's just over. And then this is a wipe so early on into the game.
Yeah.
11 minutes.
And the kills, one of them goes to Kassadin, and then it's a triple kill for Hannah on his Zeri that we've already noted. It's now sitting at 10-2 as his all-time record. And this guy has been on Brion his entire career. Like, this is a team that's not necessarily known for winning, but that is an extraordinary win rate.
We've also seen a lot of Twitch support where you use the Twitch more in the laning phase. You try to push the lane, harass, and then after you have that lead, then the Twitch starts roaming around the map and making an impact in other lanes that already kind of have some setup prio. He started it early on in the game, basically just skipped lane and just was a second jungler early. And I think that the impact he was looking for just wasn't really there. Like he was able to affect a lane on the top side where it could have been winnable for Cassante, but he's happy to sit under turret, can't dive him after that. Kasten, he was going to be under turret against Rise no matter what, so I think the support could have been played a little bit differently here by Beryl, but ultimately he decided not to do that. DRX really have some problems right now in terms of their communication. And their upcoming schedule, I just want to tell you guys about. They have Live Sandbox, Hanwha Life Esports, T1, and KT, so it doesn't get easier. Right, like all of their next opponents are really incredibly difficult for them. They took that win over Kwangdong Freaks, but that might be the last one they get here in the first round robin if they can't figure out that synergy. Beryl having some problems in the laning phase. He said, I'm gonna skip laning in game 3. It didn't work out.
Yeah, the River Twitch, we were actually having the discussion about River Twitch right before Valdez named it that on the broadcast. It was actually beautiful synergy. And it sort of worked. You could see where the pressure was coming from. It has been working in solo queue for a lot of our players. It's not like it's a crazy pick that no one knew anything about. We've heard whispers of this.
Seen it covered a lot, yeah.
We've seen also a few people in solo queues picking it up here and there. Debut here in the LCK, not necessarily fantastic. However, hopefully we do see what it's supposed to do, used in a different composition a little bit down the line.
Usually we like to champion teams here at the LCK rather than put them down, and I don't want to put DRX down, but I am worried about the current state of DRX. Even after the win against Kwangdong, the players look visibly very upset. You can see the frustration on stage there, Fate, head in his hands, and this is a team that needs to recover soon, because the matches aren't getting easier. They've lost a lot of these critical easy ones, actually, and it gets tougher from here. And how can you keep yourself mentally stable going into round 2 if the only win you could pick up is that Kwangdong Freaks win? And even in that win, your players look frustrated, they're tilted, and I don't know, man. It's like the sum of the parts should be bigger than what we're actually seeing here with this roster, but it's just, it's a mystery.
We had a similar issue with Nongshim last year. We'll see whether DRX can turn it around. Let's check out the POG for this game. A very difficult decision, you could imagine, because there's only really one play to analyze. It's Karis that picks it up, 200 points now. The Kassadin, of course, hit that level 16 mark extraordinarily early and got accelerated beyond all belief, as being able to pick up this sort of what looked like a 1v2 at the beginning, but honestly it's like a 1.5 v2.
Yeah, it's just great here. Beryl taking a turret shot in this one. Beryl has often been criticized for his hands, right? Like, he has had some mechanical errors, but he's been so smart, and his drafts have been really good. But in this game, it's really just about the draft not functioning and some decisions that were made early. He gets punished several times. Like, some of these moments where he dies, like, yeah, he took a turret shot earlier, but not his fault. This looks like Rascal wants help here from his jungler, who's rotating up, but just a little bit too late. He gets bopped. I think it's going to be a split vote. A little bit of voting over to the AD carry side. I actually thought maybe we'd see some effort voting in here, because he's the one who set up that major play that ended the game.
True. I mean, he also shadowed Beryl relatively well. We were a little bit worried at the beginning of the game because he was like level 2, and the Twitch was getting a lot more value from his support item and all that sort of stuff. Ultimately, didn't matter. Nautilus, as it turns out, is Nautilus. Your main goal is hit level 6. He got to level 6, that was basically all he needed. He could press his buttons and get the job done. But Karis picks up a well-deserved one there. I think that Karis is slowly but surely starting to come into his own here on the Brionne side. And do you know what the cool thing is? They have now equalized the amount of wins that they got in the entirety of summer.
Crazy.
Isn't that nuts? Brionne didn't get a whole lot of victories towards the end of last year, and we actually didn't have very much hope about their roster in general. And do you know what the best part is as well? We get to have a chat to them. So let's throw it over to Jisun for some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the POG interview translation. We are here joined by Hannah and Karis from Brionne. Congratulations on a stump win in Game 3. And you guys are now back on the west side of bracket. How do you feel, Hannah? Yeah, I mean, last time against Sleep Sandbox, it was a very close series, but we lost in the end, so we were pretty much like feeling down. And then I'm so glad that we were able to get the win today. Same, the Scent Storm was so powerful last time, but I'm glad that we were able to regain our momentum with this win. And Karis, so we had the prediction done prior to this week, and then it was always like 50-50. Our analysts were like 50-50 split, and then also even the platform prediction by the fans were also a very close match. It was always 50-50. What did you feel about this series? I think today was really critical for us in order to regain the momentum. So we were like going all in for this series. We had to prepare perfectly in order to get the win. So I was feeling pretty good about today's match. Hannah, were you aware of this matchup, like prediction? No, I haven't, but I was a little bit nervous about the series, but I'm so glad and relieved that we won. Game number 1, the opponents went all in for the early game, Lucia, Nami, and Elise. However, you guys were able to go so strong, so what was your plan early on? Well, Zeri and Lucian matchup is all about the mechanics, in my opinion. So I was pretty confident in that matchup. So as long as we don't make any accident happen early on, I was pretty confident about the game itself. I guess the bottom lane matchup was all about the mechanics and confidence. And just like you said, Zeri was the one getting all the kills early on, and you had bounty gold, like 1,000 gold. However, you were still moving forward, going aggressively. And your Zeri is holding a 10-2 win record here in the LCK total. I mean, I'm pretty confident in Zeri, and my teammates are always there to, back me up and trusting me. And then, so we could see, Bro going for the R1 Zeri as well. Chorus, what are your thoughts on his Zeri? Yeah, I mean, he's good at either Lucian and Zeri and all the other picks. Whenever he gets the matchup that he actually prefers, he, shows his full confidence. So we always trust him. However, that game 2, Zeri was not able to get the same result. What did you focus on after game 2? Well, we actually kind of concluded that it's not about the picks. It was more about our shot calls not being on the same page. And DRX is the team that actually likes to actually just leave the lane and set up for plays and team fights, so we really wanted to focus on that. Speaking of game 3, we finally got the support Twitch getting unleashed in the LCK. Did you expect that to happen? Last time he played support Caitlyn, so I was expecting some marksman support pick, but not Twitch for sure. Yeah, I mean, we could kind of tell Bro players are a little bit being flustered early on. What did you guys discuss regarding the support Twitch pick? We had a really decent comp, so we were like, let's just not die early on and catch up later. And then we had a very early ace, about 13-minute mark into the game. Were you expecting this much of a stomp? Well, not really, because I think that was the moment where we were supposed to actually get pushed by the opponents, but Hannah was the one like, I think this is a good teamfight angle, we should go. And we actually went all in following his call, and then we were actually able to get the ace and keep sieging forward. Hannah, what kind of angle were you able to spot there? So I was clearly able to tell that the opponent had no clue that we were actually grouping up, so we wanted to capitalize on the fact that we are having the agency. And Chorus, so the only players that got a win on Kassadin this season is only Faker and Ju. Faker twice and you for the first time. Yeah, I knew Kassadin was not having a good time in the LCK. But, in the LCK, a lot of teams actually snowball off of the laning phase, So Kassadin is not the best pick considering the LCK playstyle, but I still cannot really state